Welcome to the Hamsey Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Pablo Navarro. Today is Thursday, October 4th, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline differential closed at 1,297. Nasdaq advanced decline differential closed at 853. We had 64 new 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and 3 new 52-week lows for the S&P 500. Very bullish action here on the market internals. For the volatility, there were 287,000 contracts traded on the VIX today, with 38 million in total premiums paid. For October, the dollar-weighted put-call ratio was 1.48, which is neutral with 20% of the total premiums paid. In November, a 0.48 reading, which is bearish with 26% of the total premiums paid. And in December, a 0.7 with 37% of the total premiums paid. Here we have the daily chart for SPX. We have a big update today, 10.4 handles or 0.72%. We reached the 1461 target we talked about yesterday. This was our first upside target we had for the week, and now we're looking for our next target here. Maybe looking for 1472 if we get some good job number tomorrow. We talked about this higher lows here on the market, and also we were respecting the 0 sigma line on the daily chart. You could see here CI is starting to turn around and go positive here, which is interesting and bullish for the market. Also on CI did, you could see here the bottom and we started going higher. Now we turned into positive territory. Very good action here so far, and tomorrow we have non-farm payrolls, which is gonna take all the action for the week. So for the targets, we're still looking for higher prices. Maybe go to resistance number 2, 1477. That's a little too far from here, so maybe looking for 1472 we just talked about on the daily chart. 1472, 1477, that's gonna be our upper target here on SPX daily chart. If we get some bad numbers, expect to go down maybe to test this weekly pivot of 1444. That's gonna be our targets for tomorrow. We should have some volatility before the market opens on the futures, as you could see, so that would be the trade here if you want to trade non-farm payrolls. Let's go to the ES so you could see the targets here. Here we have the 60-minute chart for ES, and we have the weekly support, pivot, and resistance. You could see our target would be 1471, and then we want to take on the 1438 on the downside in case we go and maybe do something bad tomorrow with the data. Very important to take the highs that we made last week, and we're gonna look at those here on this chart. You can see this this is the highs that I want us to take out here on ES. Take those out, and maybe this one's also 1462. That's gonna be our target here. Now going back to SPY, let's start with this chart and look at the targets for SPY. We talked about the 146 level. Today was reached here, 146, and now we're looking for 147.65. That's gonna be our target for tomorrow if we get some good job numbers. 144.36 is gonna be the bad numbers target. So those are the two targets to have in mind here, and very important on SPY. If we do take the higher target, you could see here this trend line I have here. We are right now at some kind of support, resistance. We want to break that to the upside and make this trend line be some support again. Try to take this and maybe then come back bouncing here, even take the highs of the year after that. Very important action, really positive and bullish chart here so far after this good pullback we had after the highs of the year. Let's go for the Qs. Here we have the Q 60-minute chart, and let's start here with the support, pivot, and resistance. We're talking about 69.82. That's gonna be our upper target. We want that. We want to go beyond that, maybe go to the 70 level, 71 if we get some very good numbers here. You could see here that the Qs today did not perform as well as the SPY. That's interesting here to watch this, that it's starting to lag here a little bit, the Nasdaq ETF. Let's see the daily chart here. We are important. We are not crossing the 20-day moving average, this green line here, you could see it. So we want maybe tomorrow break that 20-day moving average to the upside and start going higher, maybe go for that 70 level we just talked about. On the IWM, this is the daily chart for the Russell 2000 ETF. A more bearish pattern here, but still we have some bullish things to mention. We have holded this support that we had here, we talked about it, and we have respected lows for last week. You could see today we had a big update, almost a percent, but we're still lagging on this risk on risk off ETF. We want to break this 20-day moving average of 84.57 and maybe come and test this high of 85.25 around those levels. As for our targets on IWM, here we have the 60-minute chart and we're looking for 85. That's gonna be our target. Very important that we get there tomorrow, and if not, maybe try and get a sell-off. We would not want to break this 82.80, 82.50 level, but maybe with a bad number we're gonna have to test those supports again. GLD, here we have the 60-minute chart for GLD, and we are right now at weekly resistance number 1. We're looking for 175.23 tomorrow if we get positive for gold, and maybe if we get some bad numbers we're looking for 171. Those are gonna be the two targets here in gold. But worth mentioning, here in the daily chart we're starting to see some breakout attempts. We had this one here, we failed, came back, perfect pullback, 20-day moving average, quickly bounced back up. Then we had this one, we failed to go higher and break there, and after now we got this one. We had a big breakout here with taking the highs we had here, and now it looks like it wanna go to test this highs, 175.25, almost in line with this highs we talked about. So that's gonna be very important for gold GLD tomorrow to make a new high and try to approach this level and see what happens from there. Last chart we're gonna look at is the VIX. Here we have the VIX and the daily chart, negative 5.7% for the day. We broke 0 sigma to the downside again. Now we're maybe looking for 1321, pretty low levels here on the VIX. This does not mean that the markets cannot go higher. I always restate that, because when people see a low VIX, they immediately associate it with tops on the market. It does not mean that. It only means that the intraday volatility is gonna be lower for the 30 days out. So here we want to maybe see 13, 14 levels here on the VIX after tomorrow, and then maybe we're gonna talk about what the week saw. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your Hamsing Analytics proprietary indicators paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino, at the number listed below. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.